Hey you guys, my name's Phil Haney and welcome to Horror Hacks, the most outrageous, disturbing, and insane horror films that you're probably never going to see in theaters anytime soon. Now check this out, you guys are going to love this one because it's disgusting. Today's movie is Furries, and it's about, you guessed it, furries! Furries! The furry fandom community, aka people who like to dress up in animal costumes and fuck each other. Furries even hold their own conventions where hundreds of them show up to party in full anthropomorphic costumes. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say, oh come on Phil, all furries don't do it for the sex stuff, but you know, we don't care about that, nobody cares except for the sex stuff. That's not interesting. We want to focus on the ones who do it for the sex stuff. Because that's amazing. People dress up in costumes and get off with it. I don't know why. It's weird. I mean, I get some stuff, but this, alright, whatever. To each his own. But this is awesome. Finding out about furries for the first time, if you remember, it's kind of like finding out about the Doritos Locos Taco. You're like, oh my god, that's a thing that exists? Yes, that's a thing that exists. Except I kind of was into the Doritos Locos Taco. Our film focuses on Jack. Now, he is a member of said furry community, and his character is a squirrel. Nice fluffy squirrel, it's kind of cute squirrel. And he goes by the name Mr. Squirrel, very original and creative, and that's how he's known around the furry community. He's really excited because there's a big furry convention that's coming to town, and Mr. Squirrel wants to make a splash. You know, he has his squirrel costume dry cleaned, he puts on underwear with no holes in it, you know, he's got his fur all puffed up. Even he's been on the message boards, he's been talking to other people in the furry community, he even met a real fox. Yeah, that's not a metaphor, she's a girl who dresses up like a fox, that's her character. And they've been talking, and they're going to meet in person for the first time, hoping to hit it off, if you know what I mean. But here's the problem with Mr. Squirrel. He's such a weirdo that even the other furries don't like him. I mean, he's like way too into being a furry. He's kind of like a furry fundamentalist. Like, he never wants to take off his furry costume. He's kind of like a never nude, except for furries. My only question is, what about the smell? Oh, God. So the furry fox girl, they meet up, and they actually do hit it off, and she wants to get nasty and yiff with him. And that's what furries call sex, yiffing. But he doesn't ever want to take off his costume. He just wants to, like, dry hump or something, I guess. So the girl's, like, upset, like, oh my God, you're a furry, and, like, you rejected me. And so she goes back to the party, and she tells everybody what a nutball he is. And then, like, everybody's, like, making fun of him. There's like a furry bully, like this one guy even like cuts off Mr. Squirrel's tail, and that's like the most insulting thing you can do in the furry community. I'm assuming, you know, is to damage somebody's costume. That'd be pretty upsetting. At this point, Mr. Squirrel is like totally humiliated and enraged. I mean, he doesn't even think that you're a true furry unless you commit to wearing your costume constantly. He wants to be a real furry. I mean, he wants to become one with his animal costume, like his inner animal, you know, I'm a squirrel. He wants to be a real squirrel, and he wants the other people in the furry convention to literally become one with their animals as well. I mean, literally be with their animals and one with them. So that's where things get weird. To get revenge on all these people who humiliated him, he starts putting chloroform on the inside of the convention goers' animal head masks, right? So they have these big masks that the furry people wear. He puts chloroform in it when they're not looking, and so they put their mask on, and then they pass out, all right? So once they pass out, he gets out this like giant potato peeler, all right? And he starts like removing their skin, like their human skin, right? He takes them out of their costume, he's removing their skin, and then he shoves them back inside their furry costume and sews their human skin to the inside of their costume, right? They wake up and they're dripping in blood and agony, and they don't understand, and they can't get out of their costume. They can't take it off because it's fused to their bodies, and they don't have any other skin. And Mr. Squirrel, he's watching all this as these people wake up in agony. He's excited because this is what he always wanted. These are true furries. Fortunately, a lot of these furries slowly die, I mean, from their wounds. This is like horrific. But on the upside, the cute fox girl that was going to hook up with him, she's able to avoid his wrath, right, because he likes her, and she makes off with like a buff wolf guy, right, this buff like furry wolf person, and they're going to like go after Mr. Squirrel and like bring him to justice. So Mr. Squirrel, he's like skinning more people alive, but they're trying to figure out a plan to like finally lure him out. So the fox girl, she takes like her costume, and she takes she has her costume on for the fox, right? And she takes like the human skin of one of his victims and she covers herself. She covers her mask and her costume with human skin, right? So there's like a furry costume and then there's human skin over the furry costume. And this is like a human furry turducken. I mean, it's just like a total monstrosity. So seeing this, Mr. Squirrel is outraged and he comes out in the open where they douse him with gasoline and they burn his fur straight off. Ah! So now, like, the hot fox girl and the wolf guy furry, like, totally hook up. Like, you saved me, you know. And, you know, it's all happy. It's all good. They won, you know. Everybody's happy. Except for the people who got skinned alive, because that would suck, even for furries. So yeah, film Furries. It's like Carrie meets a movie about an orgy with people dressed up in animal costumes. So what's wrong with that? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, and let me know if you'd watch Furries.